Well, as usual, I don't know where to start. People seem to wonder why I bother to repair my 2006 Peugeot 107 when I could be really famous and earn lots of money. Well, what is fame to me? An absolute nightmare. I was bullied at the age of 9 until my hair started to fall out. I lost all my artistic ability. The girls dried up altogether because, my personality went. And why? Because I was better looking than the kid who bullied me. He was 3 times my size and weight, sat on my ribcage and bounced up and down and tortured and tormented me until I became virtually mute. So I grew up to be, whatever, a virtually mute engineer. I won an award for my engineering, but I had to give it up because I was bullied out of my job. Possibly my mother wanted me to go back to college because she wasn't happy that I was the county audit clerk's grandson and I was stacking sacks and driving milk vans and stuff like that. So I went back to college, got a national in vehicle engineering, was student of the year, and got a job in a factory welding heavy goods vehicle trailers together. And it wasn't nice. I was breathing in chlorine from burning paint. You're not meant to weld over paint, which doesn't just sort of stings a bit, because it turns on contact with moisture. It turns into hydrochloric acid, a bench acid, isn't it? Isn't it hydrochloric acid in car batteries? I don't know. I've forgotten, or is it sulfuric? I can't remember. But yeah, and I'm in the workforce. Well, I sat at home in front of my mum, my dad, and my brother. I think some of them are a bit sort of queer, gay, 3 of them. The next day, the whole workforce was hostile towards me. And my dad forced me to work there for 3 months, and I thought I'd upset the IRA. And obviously, the workforce were all members of the IRA. But then if they had, I'd been, well, they'd have kind of fitted a Semtex floor warmer to my car, and it would have sort of warmed the floor a bit next time I tried to open the door. Anyway, and a bit of a shame considering I was accepted to do a high national in auto engineering, but couldn't because my mother had a heart attack while I was at college the second time. Back at college, my mother had a heart attack just towards the end of the course. So, how upset was I? Well, nobody seemed to notice that the Austin Mini I built before I started the course, I took a wheel off after my mother's heart attack. I put it back on. I put the nuts on finger tight, and didn't do any more because my concentration was so bad. I drove off down the road and I was suddenly overtaken by this wheel. On a few days after my mother's heart attack, I was in this lesson. The week before, I'd said, I don't think we was to gaze at all, because, I was brought up by a Victorian, it was illegal then. And I have no sort of inclination like that. All right, I think it's a chromosome that causes it. But, and this lecturer, social worker, whatever, said to me, Ian, you have strong views about gays, what do you think? And we've been watching a video, was it half an hour or an hour? I said, have we seen the video? Because that's how bad my concentration was. You mean people think I wasn't upset by my mother's heart attack because I wouldn't go and see her? And, she kind of neglected me a bit, but I didn't want to remember her the same way I remembered my nana. Because my nana was my favourite person. I went to see her one day with my mum, and she said, she called me Alan. I said, I didn't say anything. And she accused me of something my uncle Alan, who was killed in 1941 in a bomber crash, did before World War II. And I thought she meant my half brother was named after him in honour of him because he died in World War II. Anyway, stuff happens, you got to get over it. Like friends getting killed in car accidents, and it's upsetting. And watching your mate get put into a coffin when you're 18 and then going to work 4 hours later and working a full week in shock. My supervisor, who was German, fought for the Germans in World War II and came over here and settled, which to me takes guts. He said to me, Ian, go home, you're not fit for work. And just said, if I go home, I'm going to sit and think about it. So I worked 150 tons in 6 days and in shock. Things happen. Anyway, I've forgotten what this is about, things that are offensive and upsetting. Well, my mother died in 92. 4 months later, I was knocked off my bike and nearly killed. As far as I know, I don't know what I went through the windscreen, but I had no helmet on and I was slammed against the bonnet possibly. And I woke up, I've no idea how many hours later, I thought it was in a nuclear power station because I was laid on this trolley. Somebody said, Ian, I didn't know my name or anything. There's very little going on in here, but I could see this radiation sign. I thought, why am I lying down on a trolley in a nuclear power station? It said X-ray above, department below, but I could read it, but I couldn't understand what it meant. And I didn't realise it was a nurse talking to me, and she was talking to me. I mean, later on, I think, was it that same hospital or another one? I can't remember, but I used to take the drip bag off the hook and throw it on the floor because obviously I had this massive headache and I thought the drip was going out. What am I on that for? Why am I on this bed? Get off. So I took it on the floor, and multiple times I said, Ian, don't take the bag off the drip. And the only reason I knew they were talking to me was because I realised it was a drip bag. Well, stuff happens, don't it? You have cycling accidents and nearly get killed. And of course, yeah, I mean, the last serious job I had, yeah, I thought the 300 men I worked with were members of the IRA. Did I say that? Yeah. But if they would have fitted a Semtex floor warmers in my car, I was kind of scared to the point where my hair started to go white. And I knew if I left, Dad was going to kick me out. It was -10. There was about 3 inches of snow on the ground. And in the end, he did. Because I had to leave because I couldn't stay there. And he kicked me out, and I went and slept on the floor in my mate's digs in Leicester. And yeah, it was a nice place. You know, you had a shower. The water from the shower, including the dirty water, went down the side of the bath, down the wall cavity, and came out through the kitchen window, all over the sink and the draining board. Oh, it was lovely. And the Force 9 gale blowing under the door, and I was lying in that, in a sleeping bag, frozen stiff. I soon came home. I don't like cities, I hate cities. I mean, how local am I? Well, my nana's granddad was born in a local village in 1840. Most of the family from round here. The unusual one, well, my dad's dad, we don't know who he was. And my mother's granddad was a Glaswegian boilermaker. His dad was born, his dad was born in Jarrow, so was granddad, and he came here because, well, it's nicer than Jarrow.